Imagine a young teenage girl. Her days consist of blaring Taylor Swift songs, hunting down old BTS interviews, and ignoring her parents to stay up to see what all the celebrities are going to wear at the red carpet. She loves songs about falling in love and about fairy tales, loves to squeal her favorite lyrics at the top of her lungs, and ignore her brothers in the other room telling her to shut up. Now, I want you to imagine another girl, one who loves solving calculus problems, who adores to learn the historical context of classic literature, and who throws herself into political discourse whenever she has the chance. She works her entire high school career to get into the school of her dreams, and is, above all, a realist. Now, would you believe me if I told you that these were both the same person and that they were standing in front of you today? Whenever someone meets a young, enthusiastic girl who isn't afraid to show her emotions, they're quick to label them as silly or naive, just young girls who know nothing about the way the world works. They think that obsession over pop music and pop culture is nothing more than an unrefined hobby or a temporary intellectual setback. Questions like, have you tried listening to more meaningful artists? They're all looks and no substance. They don't sing about anything real anyways, were common. These comments made me feel small, as if I was a little girl playing pretend with my own interests. My love for music was branded as an annoying flaw, or worse yet, had me labeled as an airhead follower of the latest trends. Now, I know I'm a fairly smart girl, I'm confident in my own abilities, and I know I have valuable skills to bring to the table. But as a shiny new preteen, those words were detrimental. So I hid my interest in order to seem more mature, as if my interest in one direction could not coexist with my love for political issues. My hobbies seemed to discredit any sort of valid opinion I could possibly have. And even if I did have a valid opinion, it was just because that's what my favorite artist told me to think. So I replaced the One Direction posters in my wall with those of Frank Ocean and Fleetwood Mac, both artists who I loved, but I used them as an excuse whenever people would ask me what my favorite artists were. Because if you were to say Taylor Swift, there's an inherent judgment that comes with that. It's not seen as respectable music, but as bubblegum pop, which is a terrible, degrading label slapped onto music enjoyed by teen girls. These supposed bubblegum pop artists think about the fierce, intense emotions surrounding life and love that so many teen girls, including myself, find themselves relating to. Puppy love, puppy breakups, not feeling like you belong, and finding your place in the world are all so unique to the species of teenage girls that it's not hard to figure out why we love these songs so much. Embracing these experiences and the emotions that come with them is not inherently a bad thing, but the world is used to tempered emotions. When girls aren't scared of showing their crazy or obsessive side, they get labeled as unintellectual, self-absorbed, vapid. In actuality, there's nothing smart about hiding your emotions or anything dumb about being unapologetically loud about your interests. Boys are allowed the liberty of screaming over football matches, but girls get called annoying for doing the same thing for their interests. In doing this, society teaches girls to stay quiet and to keep small. You can have interests as long as you keep them to yourself, because God forbid anyone has to hear what a teenage girl has to say. We fangirls always have to work twice as hard to prove our capabilities. Though the media people consume really has no correlation with intelligence levels, the truth is, smart people love silly entertainment all the time, because it isn't about what you consume, but how you consume it. Someone could sit there and feel super pretentious and annoying about listening to classical music, but if they never take the time to delve into the art and find personal connections to it, they gain nothing intellectually from it. Believe it or not, girls love their boy bands for more than just their good looks and charm, but because of the meaning behind their lyrics and all the hard work that goes into the production of their music. Girls who find ways to connect their lives to lyrics or incorporate themes of their favorite albums into their schoolwork gain so much more intellectually than people who just passively listen to oldies to feel smug about it. But why all the shame? Despite these criticisms, fangirls remain the main tastemakers of the music industry, whether other demographics like it or not. Looking at the rise of the Beatles in the 60s, it was not uncommon to see girls pushing past barricades and screaming at the top of their lungs at concerts. Oh my god, their hair is so cute. I love their British accents. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Nothing about their music has really changed in the past 50-some years, but they have become one of the greatest artists of all time. They shifted from having a primarily teenage girl fan base to a fandom that looks like a high school's 40-year reunion. If they had kept their appeal with the younger crowd, they would not be as respected as they are today. With time, musicians seem to get some kind of protection from criticism by older generations. How could you possibly criticize Led Zeppelin or the Beach Boys? They're classics. By putting these artists on a pedestal, modern artists are seen in a more critical lens, even though so many of the themes and songs today are the exact same as they were 50 years ago. So many iconic songs from that time, such as The Chain by Fleetwood Mac or Hey Jude by the Beatles, aren't really that complex or deal with super heavy topics, yet they're seen as so much better than what's on the radio today. Just because something is old doesn't make it better or even good, and using these songs to criticize what girls listen to today is useless. Even if all of today's popular music was so bad and had no substance, and every other kind of music was super deep and unique and super meaningful, it doesn't make anyone better just because they don't like popular media. Different kinds of music serve different purposes for different people, and not everyone wants to listen to music that requires an advanced English degree to understand. That being said, no matter what meaning you think it has, bubblegum pop has made huge impacts to modern music. One of the defining characteristics of bubblegum pop is that it almost always finds itself having crazy sales numbers and putting their artists on the global scale. But if artists like Ariana Grande are so one-dimensional and only teenage girls like them, how are they able to get this level of success? Teenage girls, believe it or not, do not have enough money to go out and sell out massive stadiums or buy millions of albums, and believe me, I've tried. In order to achieve this mainstream success, these bubblegum pop artists have to appeal to the general population. And yes, that includes your dad singing along to the radio or your grandpa at the store singing along to the grocery store music. Girls are often used as a scapegoat for an artist's success, which leads other people to be embarrassed to admit that they like them, which leads teenage girls to be the only ones publicly admitting their admiration, which is just this vicious cycle of judgment. Elitism is the real reason why so many teenage girl interests are looked down upon. Everything from our fashion to our favorite rom-coms to the way we act is policed because we have to fit a certain mode in order to seem smart or mature. Society says that smart girls are level-headed at all times. They don't indulge in mindless entertainment, and they're always cool and collected on the outside. None of that screaming nonsense. And sure, there's countless of girl geniuses out there who fit that mode, but that isn't the only way to be smart. You can spend your weekends at concerts, screaming your little head off, or memorizing choreography to recreating your room. Not that I've ever done that. But you can also have time to invest in yourself, in your school, or whatever you want. Listening to music is a hobby. Nothing more, nothing less. So it shouldn't be used as a measure of intelligence or a reason to judge others. Girls do not have to project their giddiness and whimsical minds in order to be seen as intelligent, capable, and talented on their own merits. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and buy the newest BTS song or follow the top new artist, but next time you witness a fangirl in her natural habitat, don't resort to judgment. Instead, think about what makes you really enjoy, what makes you jump up and down in excitement, and don't be afraid to channel your inner fangirl. Doesn't make you any dumber, doesn't make you any smarter. Thank you.